Hello again everyone, welcome to my second Linux command tutorial video. In this tutorial I'm going to talk about the Linux file system in greater detail, and then I'm going to give you some more information about the ls and cd commands to help you navigate the Linux file system more efficiently. Now I know quite a few of you are probably coming from Windows. If you are, there's a few things I'd like you to know up front before we dive in. First of all, there are no drive letters in the Linux file system. In Windows, you might be accustomed to a C drive, a D drive, and so on, but in Linux, all files and folders, even removable storage, are nested under one file system tree. The root of the file system, or the root of the hard drive in Linux, is designated by a single / and not a C: like in Windows. And that actually brings me to my second point. Linux separates folders and file paths with a /, while Windows uses a / to separate folders. This can be confusing when you move from one operating system to another, but what helped me remember the difference is the following saying that I came up with. Windows thinks backwards, Linux thinks forwards. Now I know that was kind of lame, but it does help you remember the difference if you're just starting out. Now anyway, back to the ls command. Like most Linux commands, the ls command accepts parameters or options. For example, we can type ls space -l. The -l is an option we can pass to the ls command. There are many others, and I'll go over how to see a list of options for each command in the next video, but for now, the -l option shows everything in a list vertically rather than just showing everything in a jumbled up mess like we did in the last video. And just for the sake of clarity, I'll just type ls by itself without the -l, and you'll see the difference right away. The -l option just says we want a long list of the files rather than showing everything all jumbled together, so it can definitely be very helpful. Now, also with the -l option, we see more information about the files and folders in our working directory. And that actually brings me to my next point. You may have noticed that folders are showing up with blue text and files are showing up with white text. Now, while that is true, it's not always the case. Colorization in a Linux terminal is typically a distribution-specific customization that you may or may not see in your distribution or whatever one you might end up using. So you can't always rely on that, but there is a better way, or a more reliable way. Let's take a look at the permission string. So basically, this is a permission string right here, beginning with the letter D in this example. Now, since this permission string begins with the letter D, that means that it's a directory. And right above it, we see a regular file, and that's designated by a dash instead of a D. So even if you're using a distribution that doesn't colorize the folders and such, that's a good way to tell the difference. When you do ls-l and you see the permission string, if you want to know if it's a folder or not, just look to see whether it has a D as the first character in the permission string. Now you'll also notice down here we have an L on one of the files, and all that is a link, but I'm not going over links yet. I'm going to save that for a future tutorial video, but I just wanted you to know what the L stands for. So that's basically how you can tell the difference reliably between files and folders. Now, another note about the ls command is that you can actually list the storage of any folder, not just the folders that you're currently working in. So for example, if I type ls, and I'm just going to see, if I type ls by itself, I'm just going to see a list of files and folders in my current working directory. However, if I type ls space /home, then that's going to show me a list of files and folders in the directory that I passed to the ls command. So you don't have to cd or change directory into a folder in order to see what files and folders are in that folder. You can actually just type the ls command and then pass a path to it, and then you'll be able to see exactly what folders are in any folder from anywhere. So that can be pretty useful. So now let's go back to the cd command. In the last video, I showed you how to navigate to another folder inside your working directory. With the cd command, you can actually type a complete path, just like we did with the ls command, to go anywhere from anywhere. So for example, if I wanted to change directory into my home folder, I can just give it a path and press enter, and it'll take me into that folder. Now you'll notice I have no home folder here, in my Etsy folder. So since I typed a / at the very beginning of the folder, I was telling the cd command that I basically want to change to a different path, but I want to start at the beginning, which is why I typed the / and then go into the home directory. So I didn't have to cd to, for example, cd / to go to the very beginning, then cd home to go into the home folder. I didn't have to do that. So for example, I can type the cd space J. LaCroix, which is in my home directory. That's my home folder. And since I didn't include a / the cd command knew that I was referencing a folder in my current working directory and changed me into that folder. So basically, in a nutshell, if you type a / at the beginning of a path when you use a cd command, you're telling the cd command you are referencing the root of your file system when you want to change directories. But if you don't include a /, you're telling the cd command that you want to change to a folder that is within your current working directory. Now you probably noticed that the working directory in my bash prompt here, it changed to a tilde. As you can see, the tilde represents your home folder or the home folder of the currently logged in user. So you can always type cd and then space tilde, which is a little shortcut, and it'll take you directly into your home directory. And you can also reference other paths within your home directory. So for example, I have a folder called music in my home directory. So if I type cd space and tilde and / music, the tilde is short for /home / your username and then the first folder. So if I press enter, it takes me right in. It's the same thing as if I would have typed cd space /home / J. LaCroix / music. It would take me into the same folder. But it's certainly a lot easier just to use a tilde than to type /home / J. LaCroix. And this is actually something that you're going to see quite a bit. Now, a final note about the cd command that I haven't taught you guys yet is I've only showed you how to go forwards into other folders, but what if you wanted to go back to the previous folder or up one level? And all you have to do for that is cd space ... and that'll take you to the previous folder. Every time you issue that command, it's going to take you to the directory that's up just one level. So that's definitely something that you need to know as well, and that's probably one of the easier topics. And finally, there is one more command I want to teach you. I know this might be information overload, but I want to bring this up because it actually is related to navigating the file system, and it is extremely easy to learn. So go ahead and type pwd, and press enter. And what that'll do is it'll show you your current working directory. And this can be useful if you are using a Linux distribution that doesn't include your working directory in the prompt. But also if you get very deep into your file system, this prompt might actually be truncated in some distributions. So the pwd, or print working directory command, will tell you where you are in the file system in case you ever get lost. And that's actually it. There's really nothing else to it. So I think that's enough for one video. I'll go over the Linux file system in greater detail later on, but we still have a few other things related to the file system to go over, such as mounting removable storage, hiding files, permissions, and there's some other things. But I think I've taught you guys enough for one video, and we're actually going to take a break from learning the Linux file system, and we'll get to the other stuff later on. And I'm just going to throw in a few easier commands in the next couple of videos to teach you guys, and at some point in the future we'll come back to this. So for now, I know that the file system can be pretty confusing, so just practice between this video and the next video. Just practice moving around the file system with the cd command to change directory and the ls command to list storage, and just navigate around the file system. And that's really the only way to learn it, is just to play around. And in the future video, like I said, we'll come back and I'll even show you some definitions on what the folders actually are and where you could find typical things like programs and scripts and things like that. But for now, just practice, and with practicing the cd and the ls command, you will get the hang of it, and it should be nothing for you. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe. New videos are coming soon.